Good morning. Welcome to episode 32 of the Blunt Talk Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Anthony Wright, coming to you from the beautiful, warm, and sunny confines of Atlantic City, New Jersey. Wherever you may be watching or listening, I thank you as always. Like, share, and subscribe. It helps the channel. On today's episode, we're going to touch on various NFL news and notes and topics that I thought might be of interest for you going into this week. And definitely some news and notes dealing with development of certain players, implementations of certain offenses, being that we're in phase 2 now of a lot of the OTAs and organized team activities. And also some potential adjustments that might possibly be made as far as rosters. So just like odd news and notes that we're going to get into. And again, as always, like, share, and subscribe. That helps the channel. And hopping right into it, we're going to start with 49ers wide receiver Brandon Ayuk, who has basically said, since pretty much the end of the offseason, they wanted a new contract. Well, now a report came out via ProFootballTalk.com yesterday. A report comes out stating that Brandon Ayuk wants more money than Amon-Ra St. Brown. I'm going to be completely honest with y'all. Excuse me. If Brandon Ayuk gets this money from the 49ers, I'll be beyond fucking shocked. I don't see him getting this money. Strictly because the real engine that moves that car is Christian McCaffrey. I've told you numerous times, I think Debo is going to be gone after next year. After this season, he's going to be gone. They're going to have to make adjustments on the offensive line. They're going to have to pay Brock Purdy. I don't really see them paying Brandon Ayuk that top amount of money. I think there's been a low-key, go see what you can get type of thing going on out there. However, that being said, it hasn't come to fruition yet. Give it time. Things will change. But that being said, I don't even see him as that type of receiver. I mean, we have to keep in mind, this guy has had, his best season has been 85 catches, 1,400 yards. He's in an offense where the ball is primarily you see it going to Christian McCaffrey, you see it going to Kittle, you see it going to Debo. Brandon Ayuk, not to be, funny, but as good as a player as he is, and he is a weapon out there, teams ain't really thinking about him when they're playing the 49ers. He's not even really a focal point. He's somebody they think about, but the defensive coordinators ain't losing no fucking sleep about Brandon Ayuk. Oh man, where's this guy going to be matched up? They worried about McCaffrey. They worried about where the hell Debo and Kittle's going to be. And then they get worried about all the other shit. Outside of that, so like I said, I doubt he gets that contract, but it remains to be seen. Next topic in news of note is from A to Z Sports.com. Spoke to Darius Slay yesterday, and Darius Slay basically spoke about how last season he wasn't really himself health-wise due to the injury up until, I believe it was week 15. Week 15, correct. That was 14, I'm sorry. Week 15, leading into that Monday Night Football loss against the Seattle Seahawks. He had went arthroscopic knee surgery. He said he feels healthy now, rejuvenated. The knee feels fine. He said he's been on it since, and there hasn't been any issues. As we know, he came back and played at the end of last season. Like I said, even though it's going to be his last year there, I think this is going to be a huge year for Darius Slay. I think he can go out playing very well and at a high level, at a consistent level. So it's great to hear that he's healthy. It's great to hear that his knee is in shape. It sucked because that was one of the things I also felt that kind of derailed the team late last year. They were already struggling with, pass coverage. They were already struggling with having rookies in there. And then you had to go in and throw, Darius Slay out for a couple weeks with this. So fucking sucked last year. Like I said, as an Eagles fan, it just fucking blew. But it's great to see that this guy's back. Great to see that he's going to be healthy. And remains to be seen how everything plays out. But definitely good to see that he's healthy. Next topic that is coming from Pro Football Talk. This one is from Mark Andrews, speaking on the Ravens using 2 tight end sets with Isaiah Likely. I'm going to be quite honest with you. This is something they should have did last year. I think health-wise played a major factor into it. I think that there was schematics played a factor into it. That being said, they're going to need all of these guys to step up. I mean, Andrews and Isaiah Likely, because with the offense taking a change and another adjustment, another year into the Todd Monken offense, and it's just one of those situations where, honest to God truth, you're going to need these guys to really play well and really step up and really do what's required. So if they can get the 2 tight end set going, it's going to be an amazing thing for the Baltimore Ravens. And like I said, having Mark Andrews healthy, I think, will be primarily the main focus because Isaiah Likely's been there. He's been a backup. He's been, serviceable. It's been Andrews not being there that's hurt. This next article here is via Pro Football Talk and the Athletic. It spoke on Stetson Bennett and his mental health issues that he had dealt with, and him being back with the team and how he feels rejuvenated and great, and how he basically is now fighting for the number 2 position behind Jimmy Garoppolo. I'll be honest with you, if barring any type of injury, he should get it because Jimmy Garoppolo sucks ass, and no Rams fan should want him being the number 2 quarterback, because if Jimmy Garoppolo is your number 2, you're fucking screwed if you're the Los Angeles Rams. Just completely being honest there. So great to see Stetson Bennett back. Great to see that he's going to have an opportunity to play. And definitely great to see he's going to have an opportunity to try to, be that backup quarterback that the Rams hoped that he would have been last year. Next news and note, also via Pro Football Talk, your fan favorite, guys, one of your personal favorites, Elliott Wolf, the de facto general manager and vice president of player personnel for the New England Patriots, stated, and I quote, "A collaborative effort will be made to get Drake May ready for the starting quarterback role when the time is ready." Elliott Wolf stated in his quotes, I think those would be some important conversations for us to have. Basically stating that when the time comes for Drake May to start, that they feel they're very confident in Jacoby Brissett right now. But really the ultimate goal is to get Drake May the starts and get him to play and to be able to put him in position so that way, when the time is right, the offense is under his feet, he has an understanding, and, Elliott Wolf isn't fucking fooling anybody. He's trying to get everybody's palate and eyes, ready to see Drake May. Again, I think that was a bit high of a pick. I think it was a bit of a reach, but nonetheless, Elliott Wolf wants his way, and we'll see how long it takes. I don't think it's going to take long, guys. I really don't. I don't think Jacoby Brissett's going to be able to hold this guy off for 10 or 11 weeks. I think it's going to be somewhere between 5 and 8 weeks in, we're possibly going to see this kid play. Leading into it, let's see what's the next news and note here. Pat Freiermuth, very interesting. Oh, excuse me. News and note. Pat Freiermuth is excited to have Arthur Smith as his new offensive coordinator. This article was another one via Pro Football Talk. They had a lot of articles coming out yesterday. Pat Freiermuth is excited to have Arthur Smith as his offensive coordinator, stating that, he's excited because he knows that the tight end's got a lot of touches in Atlanta, and that, he's going to be, definitely this is going to help improve his numbers. He's fighting for a contract, last year of his deal. 5th-year option has been picked up, so he's clearly fighting for his football life in Pittsburgh. That being said, some stats that actually shocked me when I went over them. Going over Arthur Smith's tenure, the 3 years that he was in Atlanta, more importantly, I went to last year because I thought all 3 years have been too much of a quantitative total. So I wanted to make sure that I, gave you some stats, something that you could chew on and get a great understanding of how important Arthur Smith will be for Pat Freiermuth's development. That being said, Arthur Smith, while in Atlanta as the head coach, more than a third of the time, the passes went to the tight end in his offense. So to give you a synopsis, that's Kyle Pitts, that's Mecole Pruitt, and I'm drawing blank on the other tight end. Falcons fans, by all means, drop a name in the comment. I completely forgot the name. That being said, last year, all 3 tight ends for the Falcons combined for 112 catches, 1,359 yards. Now, again, that's 3 tight ends combined. Pat Freiermuth, for his career, has 155 catches, 1,537 yards. Safe to say Arthur Smith is going to be a great upgrade for his game. Possibly help get him the contract extension he wants. And if not, hell, just based off what I know that Pat Freiermuth could do just with Arthur Smith in the offense, he should definitely get that contract extension. He's been solid. He's had injuries. He hasn't been great. However, the quarterback play has been great. So give Pat a chance, and I think Pat will earn his keep and his just due this season. Leading next, this one was a thick, chunky article via The Athletic by reporter, columnist Randy Mueller. So I'm going to make sure I give that man his props. Topic was, is Trevor Lawrence the guy? And I think this was very interesting because the piece touched on a lot of key things on why he's struggling and why he's having some of the issues that he's having as far as completion percentage and against pressure and blitz rate percentages and all these different things that most people don't really think about when they think about why is Trevor Lawrence struggling, how come he hasn't received that new deal yet, and how come, the team is still working on it, in the words of Coach Doug Peterson. Well, some of these stats actually kind of shocked me a little bit, but not too much. Let me hop right into it. Trevor Lawrence fucking sucked on third down. I mean, fucking sucked. He was 38. He was literally 38% on third down last year. And to give you a key stat, because I ripped this completely straight from the article. He literally 10 of his turnovers came on third down, which was the most in the NFL per TrueMedia.com, right? He converted just 38% of his third downs, ranking alongside, you're going to love these names, Desmond Ridder, Daniel Jones, and Joshua Dobbs, and well behind league leader Jalen Hurts at 48%. Quite horrible. Not completing the third downs, putting your teams in bad situations, that doesn't look good. But to take it a step further, on third downs in the fourth quarter, Lawrence completed 58% of his passes. League leaders in that category were in the mid to high 70s, led by Kyler Murray himself, who averaged 79.2%. So again, fucking horrible. Third and fourth down, he's not giving you anything. This is why this team is struggling. This is why this team is not executing at the levels they need to execute at. Now, we knew that, Dabo Sweeney and that bullshit offense at Clemson was kind of lulling people to sleep because it was basic shit. Just they had way better skill position guys and playmakers, so it looked sexier than thou, but really it was basic, slant, hitch, fly, en route, nothing too grandiose. And we all knew, anybody who really knew talent evaluating or knew how college football was ranked compared, especially at that time going into the NFL, we knew that there was definitely going to be an adjustment for Trevor Lawrence. But just, again, that's startling to see. You're 4 years in, and we gotta remember 3 years in, going to be 4. You gotta remember that 2021 class, which was fucking abysmal. He's the only guy that's still on his same team. So yeah, keep that in mind. But something else too that I think need to be of note, Dougie P. Dougie P gets a lot of credit because of the Super Bowl win in Philly, rightfully so. Shout out to Dougie P. Dougie P gets a lot of credit because he got the Jaguars team to the playoffs the year after Urban Meyer, rightfully so. Urban Meyer is fucking incompetent. Unless he's playing Michigan or he's playing, a team in southeastern Florida or the SEC, he has no concept of football. So no shock there. But Dougie P has real concerns, and there might be real questions that we have to ask about his offense and his system. Something that this article dug into, Randy Mueller dug into, and I thought, again, it was fascinating. Pete Carson Wentz. The year the Eagles won the Super Bowl, which was the 2017-2018 season, and then the two preceding years, following years. Wentz's numbers declined in 2018 and 2019, but he still had fewer than 15 turnovers. And Wentz was able, just like Lawrence, to lead the team to the postseason in the 2019 season, i.e. Lawrence led them once 2022 season to the postseason. However, even though Wentz had these issues and these struggles, he was still able to get 2 postseason. You figure 3 years he was quarterback, injured twice, got to the postseason on his own in 2019 with one of the worst receiving cores ever in NFL history. I do believe Carson Wentz that year, the NFL stat is, you guys can look it up. I'm pretty sure I know the stat by heart. But Carson Wentz was the first quarterback ever in NFL history to make the playoffs with receivers averaging 500 yards or less at the receiver position. I mean, it was just a terrible year, which again speaks more to Trevor Lawrence. You're not doing enough. Doug, you could definitely take some heat that he's not elevating this kid, But it needs to be said that Trevor Lawrence is not taking the necessary steps that he needs to. Something more that was dug into in this subject. His decision making under pressure is fucking horrible. You know, they say it's still a work in progress. Again, 3 years in, and you're not better against the blitz. That's a problem. And ultimately, he shows a lack of patience in the pocket, which leads to these sacks, which leads to these turnovers, which leads to these bad, ineffective plays, which just puts your ass on the bench and keeps your offense on the sidelines and your defense out there all game. Something else, too, I think, last but not least on this subject that is very interesting. The thing that got Doug fired in Philadelphia, I think will possibly rear its head again in Jacksonville, and we'll see if Doug learns from it. Who is calling the plays this year? Duties were split in 2022, and Press Taylor was able to do it in 2023. I got to be completely honest with you, and I need you guys to hear me. I'm not a Press Taylor fan. I thought the offense for Philadelphia, when he was the offensive coordinator in 2019, I felt the offense regressed. I just feel like he's not really good at his job. Just being completely honest. Doug is going to have to take on this mantle and this work and this throne if he really wants to keep a job in Jacksonville and to really see this kid through and possibly do some good things, because the pressure is on. It's on Doug and it's on Trevor. And I'm not sure exactly how things are going to play out. I'm not sure exactly where things may, situate itself. But with that being said, the pressure is on for Dougie P. The pressure is on for Trevor Lawrence, and the pressure is on for the Jacksonville Jaguars. And last but not least, I wanted to talk about a topic that I've been periodically discussing throughout the offseason. You guys have been hearing me talk about the Bengals. You've been hearing me mention T. Higgins. You've been hearing me mention Jamar Chase. You guys been hearing it, and I'm safe to say I can finally bring it up to you guys now. Jamar Chase and T. Higgins are not at the OTA practices. And why do you guys think they're not at the OTA practices? Outside of the obvious of if I get fucking hurt, I don't have a guaranteed contract. The Bengals are just, in my opinion, completely mismanaging this. And my question, or the question I was posed, was how long can the Bengals management keep this going? I'm going to be completely honest with you. Not for long. Not for long. Not with both. You may be able to get that off with T. Higgins. You're not getting that off with Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase is going to command that money. He's going to get it. T. Higgins, unfortunately, brother, you're probably going to be playing this year on the tag. Not some shit that you wanted. Not something I would have wanted for you myself. Would have wanted you to get paid. You deserve it. But, yeah, you're playing for a new team in 2025 as well. So, remains to be seen, but it just seems like the Bengals are mishandling this situation, and I would definitely keep an eye on it and keep you guys posted as to what's coming about. And as other further new NFL news and notes comes about, I would definitely have news on that as well. Guys, I thank you as always for the love and support. Thank you as always for watching. As always, like, share, and subscribe. Thank you. Take care and enjoy the rest of your day.